Hello, my name is Chris. I'm the co-founder of AdAmigo.ai. Chances are you just signed up to AdAmigo and you're watching this video to help you get started. In this video series, I want to walk you through every part of the product. I want to walk you through the individual settings and configurations of every part of the product so that after watching these videos, you'll be able to get full value of our AI capabilities that we've built for advertisers out there. My goal is to keep these videos short, on point, and therefore very productive and valuable for you. In this video right now, I want to help you get started with our AI Actions product. So at this point of taping this video, we have three products: AI Actions, Chat Agent, and Bike Ad Launch. Chat Agent is like talking to a professional media buyer just in chat form, right? You can upload your images and videos and say, hey, can you help me launch those as ads into the ad account? Or, can you give me a report of last 7 days performance data and what you want to do over the next 7 days to improve performance? So that's the Chat Agent, basically like a media buyer, but in AI chat form. The AI Action Agent is more proactive. It's a proactive AI that audits your ad account on an ongoing basis, runs audits on your ad account, and understands historic performance trends, and then generates daily actions of what it wants to implement into the account to improve performance, from creating campaigns, from ad sets creation, dialing in target audiences, changing budgets, designing new ads, whatever is needed to really maximize performance. Now, the first question is how to get started. When you signed up, you were probably asked to fill out an onboarding form just like this. We have some users just rushing through this because they think this is for to personalize our email marketing or something like that. But it's actually fine-tuning your AI agent for you in the AI Action product, but also the Chat Agent product and other products. This information will be used to understand what are your performance goals, your targeting restrictions, and what's your business all about. So I would recommend one more time before you get started with AI Actions to head on over into Update KPIs, top right-hand side, and answer all these questions thoroughly to make sure the AI agent is well adjusted. First, we ask about who are we advertising for. So if you're an agency, don't enter your own information, but enter the information of the client you're running ads for. Why is that important? It's important so we know about the website and what pages we can link the ads to. We also study competitors based on the company name. We also study brand identity and style, so we can design ads that are more on brand for this client. Facebook page and Instagram page name. Here, some people make the mistake and copy and paste the link to the Instagram and Facebook page. So really just type in the name of the page and you'll be fine. And then the Metapixel ID. The Metapixel ID, ideally, you have the Pixel Helper, the browser extension, Metapixel Helper, and then you can get the ID right here from your Pixel. You copy and paste it right into this section. Meta Lead Form ID is only relevant if you run on Facebook lead form ads. And so you can download the leads, and then in that CSV, you get the lead form ID, and you can copy and paste it in here. If you don't run on Meta Leads form ads, you can just leave it empty. If you don't have a Pixel, which some people have, right? They just run Meta Lead Form, for example. You can just enter an A, and our agent will know that you don't have a Pixel and won't bother you with it. Next, we have the performance goals. Here, to me, it's very important that we ask AdAmigo what we actually care about. So in our case, this is now an example account, right? We pretend this is AdAmigo, right? Our business, our software business. We care about getting customers and getting the revenue on our ad dollar spend. So revenue on ad spend. And so we want a 1.2 or higher. At that point, we are basically profitable, right? Or like that's kind of our target at the moment. And then the secondary objective is cost per ads to cart. Those are folks that started the free trial, right? So if an ad set has, or an audience or a campaign or an ad has bad ROAS, bad ROI, but the cost per trial started is very low, then we might give this ad a little longer to prove itself, right? Or the agent will in this case, right? And then I've chosen maximize profitability for my ads. That tends to be a good choice when you just start out. We would love to show you that after 30 days of using this tool, you get better performance. And so with this, you kind of push the tool towards that. So it'll aim to have the highest possible ROAS, which sometimes means spending less, right? Like that's sort of what it tries to balance out here. Or you can go for maximum growth. So as long as the ROAS is above 1.2, just keep scaling the account so I can get more customers into the pipeline. If you have a subscription business, great lifetime value, that tends to be a very solid strategy. So you eat up market share and then make recurring revenue on that market share. Good. Then you have your budget and targeting restrictions. Here, only enter if you have to enter something. So if you can technically target any age range, then keep it open. Don't try to make a performance judgment. Oh, I think the 55 to 65-year-olds will perform the best. Don't do that. Just keep it open. But if for legal reasons you cannot target below 21 years of age, for example, you can narrow it down right here, right? And basically specify that. Same thing goes for country, state, zip code, and all of that stuff. Good. Daily budget limit. So here, that's actually quite important. That's why it's a mandatory question. Here you can make sure that the AI agent will stay within your budget boundaries, right? So my recommendation is, what are you spending right now? Let's say you're spending $60 a day at the moment. Then I would give AdAmigo maybe $80 a day. So it has a little bit of budget that it can play with. So you relatively quickly get new campaigns and audiences created by AdAmigo. Obviously, if you spend 60 and you give AdAmigo 60, it'll first need to find ways to save budgets so it can create its own strategy. So with a 20-30% overage on that daily budget limit, you give it some opportunity to create new strategies pretty fast for you. My recommendation in the beginning: set this value and keep number 9, budget limit increase if performance target met. Keep that to no. If you keep it to yes, then basically as long as you're above 1.2, you authorize it to spend more than $80, which can make sense when you go into hyperscaling mode. But when you just start out and it's the first time you have an AI optimize your ad account, this might be a little bit spooky. So you can always go back into this form and update this value so it will then scale, right? If you now feel like, okay, 80 is good, we're very profitable, I want to scale. So you can go back in, update it to 200, and then the agent will figure out ways to increase spend to get you towards that 200 while hitting these performance targets, right? Then the last section, custom preferences. Honestly, I'll record a whole separate video on this. For now, this is your way to further interface with the agent, right? So here you can write down how you want the AI agent to operate your ad account for you. You can technically describe how you yourself run your ad account, right? You can describe like, hey, I have a creative testing campaign, I have a scaling campaign, I only use CBO or I only use ABO, and this is how I think about it. And when I see this and this metric, I make this and this decision. You can go into that much detail and basically create an AI clone of yourself. A lot of agencies and media buyers tend to do that. That's perfectly fine, but it's not really necessary. And we sort of advise against it because you're basically overwriting all of the intelligence and all of the reasoning capabilities of our AI models. And so, you kind of miss some opportunity here. What I think is the most valuable use case here is specifying if you have different campaigns with different performance targets. So you said here, for example, ROAS 1.2. What if you have a campaign that is just designed at winning Instagram followers and you don't care about return on ad spend on that campaign, right? So you can specify all campaigns with IG followers in the name are optimizing for cost per click, let's say, and not ROAS, right? I have a target cost per click of 0.3 on those campaigns, right? And so now the agent knows, okay, good, this campaign has a bad ROAS, but that's because you optimize it for something different entirely and you have a different performance goal, then that's fine. If you tell it, look, if you don't specify it, it will become almost like like autistically focused, right, on just maximizing the return on ad spend at all costs. So if there's an Instagram follower campaign that is wasting money towards that return on ad spend objective, it'll kill it, right? And so you gotta protect it with the custom preference. So this tends to be a very good use case. You can let the agent identify campaigns by name, right, or name contains, or also objective. All campaigns with awareness objective have this and this target, and not that and that target, right? And then once you hit save, it'll basically go into loading and it will start loading your first AI actions. It might take 5 to 10 minutes for those actions to show up because there's tons of compute and analytics happening behind the curtains. And then you just, it'll refresh and you see actions just like these. I hope this helped you get started. And in the next videos, we'll talk more about how to then actually apply those actions, edit those actions, and use some more use cases for custom preferences.